Hello everyone and welcome to this special E3 2015 presentation of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. As you all know by now, The Phantom Pain takes place in a massive open world, and today we're going to demonstrate how that world is every bit as deep as it is large. Thanks to the limitless options available, players can make the game their own and complete it in any way they like. However, before we begin, I'd like to quickly address a concern that's been brought up by the media recently about microtransactions in the game. While it is true that a few microtransaction options do exist, the entire game has been carefully balanced to be fair and enjoyable with or without using these options. There's no pay-to-win option. Rest assured that every single item, weapon, and mission in the game is available to all players without paying a single cent. However, due to the sheer scale of the game and the time required to explore it all, microtransactions were added as a completely optional feature for players who might not be able to spend as much time with the game. Nothing more, nothing less. More info on how this works will be announced in the future, but for now, let's jump into today's demo. What you see on the screen right now is your Aerial Command Center, or ACC. The ACC is essentially your home away from home where you can manage your army, plan strategy between missions, and do various things without heading back to base. As your mobile HQ, there are also personal touches, such as these photographs on the wall, which increase in number and change as you progress through the game. Also, as we pan around, you can see that our currently selected weapon is here on the weapon rack, ready for deployment. And straight ahead we see is our currently selected buddy, in this case the Sniper Quiet, who we introduced at last year's TGS. And note that her demeanor and appearance will change depending on the situation and your relationship with her. We also have here various bits of intel scattered throughout the helicopter. And more on the far wall here as well. More photos and a bit of intel. Alright, so next I'd like to give you a look at some of the game's customization options. So let's go ahead and open up our iDroid. Alright, so here you can see we have a customized menu. So let's go ahead and open that up. And you can see that you have various options. You can customize your weapons, helicopter, vehicles, equipment for your buddies, your emblem, create a custom emblem for your army, and even adjust the color of your base and customize some other base itself. But for today, I'd like to focus on weapons and show you how that works. So, let's go ahead and select weapons. Alright, so here we see our primary weapon without any modifications. But if we look at the modifications menu, you see you can modify any part you like, such as the barrel. Just go ahead and swap that out. And if we like, we can also attach an optional underbarrel attachment. Let's go ahead and choose the grenade launcher for today. And aside from these functional modifications, you can also make aesthetic modifications as well, such as modifying the color or pattern of your weapon. Alright, so there we go. This is our customized weapon. And one other really cool thing you can do is you don't have to just choose parts from things that you find. You can also swap parts between different weapons to create your own unique modified weapon. So the options are virtually limitless, and we hope players have a lot of fun playing around with that. Alright, so one other thing you can do while in the ACC is plan for your next mission. One critical part of that is using your Walkman to listen to tapes. So you see in your iDroid menu, we have the cassette tape option. Now of course cassette tapes are useful for listening to intel, such as this, but we also have music as well, and you can find these music tapes in the field. You see on the screen we have a sort of best hits of the 80s collection, this just being a small sample. You can listen to music here, or you can set it to your helicopter music. And what this does is it actually sets it to music that'll play during the entrance or exit from a mission when your helicopter arrives. So you can make sort of a dramatic entrance. Alright, so now without further ado, let's jump into some action. So we'll go ahead and open up our mission list.
Please select a mission.
And you'll see the familiar mission list selection menu that you've seen from Ground Zeroes. But something that's new is we have what's called free mode. Now free mode is something that allows you to jump into the map without selecting a mission. You can just wander around freely in the map doing whatever you like. So let's go ahead and show you how that works. We'll just go ahead and choose a landing zone. And whether you're embarking on a mission or just heading to the field to explore, your first step will be to select your loadout. So here you can customize various options such as your equipment or selecting your buddy. Right now we have Quiet selected as our buddy, Let's take a look at some of our other options. Alright, so you see here our list. One of those options is D-Horse, which is great for missions where you have to cover a lot of ground. And another option is D-Dog, which is great for tracking and scouting. We've never shown D-Dog in action, so today let's go ahead and choose D-Dog and show you how that works. And next, since we're dropping into a remote area, a vehicle will be handy. As you can see from the list, we have various options available, ranging from off-road vehicles to trucks to APCs and tanks. So you can choose whatever vehicle best matches your playstyle or the mission at hand. Today we'll go ahead and choose this off-road vehicle, and you'll see on the side that we have our custom E3 emblem, which is an example of the emblem customization feature we mentioned earlier. Okay, and if you like, you can also select your character. You don't necessarily have to play as Snake. You can select any member of Mother Base. You can see here some options. But for today, let's stick with Snake. And finally, the last step before you can commence your mission is to select a drop time. Now, drop time is significant since enemy routes, mission parameters, and visibility will all vary depending on the time of day. So be sure to select the time that makes the most sense for the strategy you wish to employ. That said, for the purposes of today's demo, let's just go ahead and deploy ASAP.
Deploying.
Alright, now we've arrived at our area of operations in northern Kabul in Afghanistan. To give you a taste of some desert infiltration. Straight ahead, you can see that our buddy has now been swapped out from Quiet to D-Dog. And if we open up the door, we can take a look at the scenery. And now you can hear the tape that we set earlier as our helicopter music playing through the speakers. Alright, we've arrived at our drop point, so let's go ahead and disembark.
Be careful down there, boss.
And D-Dog will do that from time to time. We'll let him take care of his business. Looks like he's done, so let's go ahead and get in the car and get on with the mission. Alright, so the first thing that we should do is open up our iDroid so we can accept the mission, since we are in free mode. So if we look at our mission list,
Please select a mission.
you'll notice that there are 3 options available to us right now. In the Phantom Pain, you'll unlock missions in groups, and you don't have to complete them in any particular order. You can choose whichever mission you like. That said, for today, let's go ahead and choose A Hero's Way. Do note, however, that this version of A Hero's Way that we're going to show you today has been customized slightly for E3 due to the limited time that we have during this presentation. Alright, so after selecting the mission, the next step will be to choose a start point for the mission. You'll notice that there are 3 start points available for this particular mission. And also you notice these circles on the map which indicate side objectives, which we call side ops. Now these side ops can be completed between missions or during missions freely as you wish. And you'll notice that there's actually a side op fairly close to us to extract a Russian interpreter, which would be very useful here in Soviet-occupied Afghanistan. So let's go ahead and place a marker here and give it a try.
Marker placed.
Alright, you notice that D-Dog is barking, indicating he found something. This is what D-Dog does. As you proceed through the map, he'll locate animals and plants, as well as enemies. We can also pull up our iDroid here to help navigate as we drive our vehicle.
Enemy presence detected. The map you have arrived at your destination.
We found out there's an English-speaking soldier somewhere in the region. He's a language specialist. His role is to translate information related to the West into Russian. If we can get him to join us, we'll have the upper hand in information warfare. Find this language specialist and extract him.
Alright, so as Miller explained, our target should be somewhere in these ruins. Let's start by doing some reconnaissance.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
DD.
So as we make our approach here, you'll notice that DD is barking to indicate he's found more targets. And you'll notice that he's able to locate targets even if they're behind obstacles or within buildings, which is very useful in the field.
Stay.
Alright, we have 2 enemy soldiers here, which could be tricky to take out on our own, but in this case we can enlist D-Dog to give us a hand. So we'll open up our menu
Hold them off.
and have him keep one of these guys busy. Alright, nicely done. Now let's see if we can get some intel out of this guy by interrogating him.
Talk.
Я не говорю по-английски. Отпусти.
He speaks Russian. What we need is an interpreter. The main principle of intelligence work is intel gathering. But that's a problem if you don't speak the enemy's language. We need a staff member with the interpreter skill to do a simultaneous interpretation.
Well, it's worth a try, right? Apparently this guy doesn't speak English, as Miller explained. But if we look at him with our intel scope, he actually has some pretty good stats. So let's go ahead and send him back to Mother Base using our Fulton.
You gotta extract him.
We also have a gun turret here, which we could use if we want. There are various weapons scattered throughout the enemy bases, which we can use to our advantage. But in this case, we want to keep on sneaking, don't want to make noise. So we'll just Fulton it to make sure that the enemy can't use it on us.
Those materials have already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base.
Alright, and as Miller explained, there are also resources that you can gather in the field. Things like fuel, metals. These all go back to Mother Base, which help you develop new weapons and equipment, as well as expand Mother Base itself.
The place was originally built by progressive royals as a separate palace away from Kabul. With its Western architecture, it was their declaration of a new dawn. But I'd say their prosperity didn't last.
Alright, so we'll use caution as we enter the building here. You'll notice that enemies within the building have been marked thanks to D-Dog's intel.
Stay.
So we'll leave D-Dog here, where he's safe, and trust his info as we sneak into the building.
That's the
Analysis
target.
complete.
Right, so that's our guy. Let's see if we can get close and knock him out. Okay, we made some noise. That's not good. But in this case, we can actually have D-Dog help us out. We issued a bark command, which makes him bark and take him out.
Great. If there's nothing in the way overhead, you should be able to Fulton him.
Oh, but of course there was something overhead,
Extraction
the ceiling.
failed.
So let's go ahead and move him to someplace in the clear. Right, there's a hole in the ceiling here. We should be able to Fulton him.
Side op completed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Boss, that language
Unit
specialist you
function
extracted has
added.
been very cooperative. Says he's always dreamed of living a free life, like folks in the West. What are the odds, huh? I've gone ahead and placed him in the support unit. His job is Russian interpretation. Now you'll know what Soviet soldiers are saying. You can even interrogate them. Should give you an edge in the mission.
Alright, awesome. Now with Oker Kapibara in our support unit, we can now understand Russian. So let's move on here. You notice up ahead we see some markers. A green marker there, which D-Dog pointed out to us, indicates a friendly, probably a hostage situation. So let's see if we can lend a hand. Let's take a quick look with our in-scope. Doing so reveals that she actually has the botanist skill. Personnel with unique skills such as this are valuable assets. So let's be sure to bring her back to Mother Base.
Help! Help me! Help!
Get down. Speak.
Alright, and putting our new Russian interpreter to good use, we now have the location of a blueprint, which we can use to upgrade our weapons. So let's go ahead and place a marker.
Marker placed.
Knock this guy out, and rescue the hostage.
Thank you.
You have arrived at your destination.
So there's the blueprint.
That material. It could be just what we need to develop new weapons and equipment.
And we also have some pretty cool music playing on stereo here via tape, so let's go ahead and grab that as well. Oh, damn. Okay, it looks like the guy on the ground noticed our Fulton. We'll have to kick him out quickly.
Okay, subject is in.
Okay, the enemy's down, but not before he radioed for help, so the enemy is on alert, so let's just be careful not to get spotted and make our escape.
DD.
He's coming too. Roger
Caution.
that.
Sandstorm approaching.
Alright, looks like there's a sandstorm rolling in. This is an example of some of the dynamic weather in the game. Sandstorms can be useful sometimes to provide cover, but it also makes your visibility very low, which isn't exactly what we want for our presentation today. So let's just go ahead and pass the time and wait for it to go away.
If you need to pass the time, go ahead and smoke that cigar of yours.
As Ocelot mentioned, if you have time to kill, we have the Phantom Cigar, which is an item you can use to fast forward time. This is very useful for when the weather is unfavorable, or if you just want to fast forward to a different time of day, such as night, where sneaking conditions are more favorable.
Sun will rise momentarily.
Alright, so the weather has cleared. It's a nice sunny day here. So let's move on with our mission. And the enemy has conveniently left the vehicle for us, so let's go ahead and confiscate that. And head to our mission start point.
You can listen to the tapes you picked up using your iDroid. If you're interested, why not play them while you're on the move?
Not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and take a look at our tape list. The music track we picked up earlier. Let's go ahead and play it now.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Alright, now we're getting close to our mission area, so let's go ahead and go the rest of the way on foot. Spend some quality time with Diamond Dog. We won't be needing our vehicle anymore, so let's fold it back to Mother Base. And go for a little jog. Alright, up on the left we see a couple of wild animals. In this case, desert wolves, which can be dangerous if you get close. So let's just keep our distance and keep on moving. Alright, so we've reached our mission start point. Let's go ahead and kill the music. And download our mission intel.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Your target is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Dishago Calais and eliminate the target.
Alright, so as Miller explained, our mission here is to eliminate a Spetsnaz commander, and we can do that any way we like. We can kill him, we can Fulton him, we can extract him by helicopter. The choice is yours, but before we proceed, I want to introduce you to another buddy, which we call D-Walker. So I'll go ahead and call him in, and send D-Dog back to Mother Base. And while we wait for D-Walker to arrive, let's review the mission intel with Miller.
The map has been updated.
The target is camped out in that village, dressed as an ordinary soldier.
Alright, so here's D-Walker.
Buddy has arrived.
D-Walker is a multifunctional robotic buddy that can be customized for either stealth or battle. And today we'll just show you a few of those features and how they can be used in the field. But before we proceed, you'll recall that we grabbed those blueprints back in the previous village. So let's go ahead and see if we can develop an item using those blueprints.
Please
Those blueprints
specify
actually
project.
unlocked a suppressor for our sniper rifle, which will be very useful in a mission to eliminate the Spetsnaz commander. So we'll go ahead and order development, and then choose a drop point
Please select
up ahead,
a drop point.
so that we can rendezvous with it on our way to the
Supplies
mission.
requested.
Right, and as you can see, D-Walker lives up to his name. He can walk or run for maximum maneuverability.
Supply drop complete.
Or if you're in a rush, you can also change modes and deploy his wheels to get to your destination in a flash.
Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up.
Okay, so here we are at our mission area. Let's grab our sniper rifle. And then do some recon.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
It's a sniper. It goes without saying that he'll try to spot you from long range and pick you off. And stay out of his field of vision. Or you could take him out first. When firing from long range, you need to calculate bullet drop. A shot that travels further than your weapon's effective range will land lower than the crosshair. Great job.
Okay, we took care of the sniper, and that also counted as a tactical takedown, which earns us rewards for executing difficult takedowns such as long-distance
Marker
headshots.
placed.
So now that the sniper's out of the way, we'll place a marker and head on in.
Enemy presence detected.
Right, and as we're using D-Walker with his wheels out, it's actually fairly hard for us to be spotted by enemies because he moves quite silently, allowing us to sneak up on enemies like so. And we can also use CQC or even pick up enemies using his robotic arm if we like. While looking at things with our int scope, you'll notice that sometimes the intel radio option does appear. So let's make a call and see what intel we can get.
Anti-air radar. Neutralize that, and our choppers can breathe a little easier.
Alright, so using your intel radio like so can reveal lots of useful information. As Ocelot explained, we could destroy the anti-air radar and create a landing zone nearby, but it would alert the enemy to our presence. So for now, let's just keep on moving. Taking a look at our map, we can see where the current landing zones are.
You gotta extract him.
And we can also take a look at some intel from our intel team to see predicted enemy fields of movement. That said, the information is not terribly accurate, so we can use one of D-Walker's other abilities, search mode,
Search mode.
to scan the area and more accurately identify enemy locations. If we open up our map once again, we can now see that enemies have been marked clearly.
Ты знал, что нашим начали раздавать щиты? Они полностью защищают от пуль. И даже гранат.
Неплохо. Но их наверняка на всех не хватит.
Конечно. Щиты раздают только тем, кому это нужно по заданию. Как всегда. Хорошего всегда не хватает.
Ну, это точно.
Ладно, я пошел.
Ага.
Those enemy soldiers are using different gear than before. Maybe trying to put up some resistance against your tactics. You might not do so while sticking to the same moves. Think carefully.
As Ocelot explained, enemies in the Phantom Pain will constantly adapt to your tactics, so you'll need to adjust your strategy, even when infiltrating the same outpost.
Why not interrogate the enemy? We might learn where the target is. information's updated.
The map has been updated.
Great. Interrogating the enemy gave us the rough location of our target. So let's go ahead and open up our map and plan our route. Alright, so here's our target's FOM and our position.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
You have arrived at your destination.
Is that him? Take a good look at their faces so we can ID the targets.
Я закончил!
Analysis
Ой, да!
complete.
Назад,
That's the target. Looks like we found him.
Alright, so there's our target.
Analysis complete.
And he seems to be accompanied by a particularly well-armored soldier as well. It would be trouble if we set off an alarm here, so let's be careful and approach the target without being spotted.
Analysis complete.
Right, we've incapacitated this guy. We could Fulton him, but we'd probably alert the nearby armored soldier, so we don't want to do that. Let's see if we can find someplace to hide him instead. Alright, this outhouse will do nicely. Let's carefully make our way into our target's building. Oh, an enemy? No, not really. This is actually just another example of how enemies can counter the player's tactics. We've shown previously how Snake can use decoys on enemies, but as you progress through the game, enemies will also do the same to you, so keep your guard up. Here's our target. Seems to be enjoying some music, so let's sneak up behind him and take him out.
Boss, I gotta say it would be a waste to kill him. But putting him to sleep doesn't count as eliminating him. Neither does knocking him out.
We'll have to extract him from the mission area, but first, there's another cassette tape here, so why not? Let's grab that too.
Target secured. I'll tell the client we sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
Всем боевым группам, это кафе. Война закончена. Все министры приготовиться к бою.
lookout. Alright, nice shot. Let's see if we can confiscate this guy's rocket launcher. Use it to our advantage. So remember that anti-air radar we saw earlier? Let's see if we can take it out and open up the landing zone to get out of here.
Mission failed.
You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Okay, so now we open up the landing zone. Chopper should be able to get close, but we don't want to call him in while these enemies are here because they'll get shot down. So let's clear him out with D-Walker. Alright. Looks like we managed to create a window of opportunity, so let's go ahead and call in our helicopter.
Select a landing zone. Support helicopter requested.
And looks like reinforcements have arrived, so we're gonna have to take them out too. Keep them busy while we wait for our chopper to arrive. Crap. Okay, we lost D-Walker. Let's just retreat temporarily here.
Don't let your buddy die, Snake. I'm pulling them out of there.
P-Squad, on station at LC.
Note that Miller will retrieve your injured buddies if they're about to die. So D-Walker will go back to Mother Base. And we'll take cover as our chopper provides some cover fire.
Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss.
Alright, nice job. That said, there's an anti-aircraft gun here shooting at our helicopter. So let's take that out ASAP.
This is P-Squad, boarding a pack run and heading for nearby LZ. Don't keep me waiting. Get on board as soon as I touch down.
And head to the LZ.
This is P-Squad, on station at LZ.
Alright, just keep our eyes open. Make sure the coast is clear. Crap, and we got a tank rolling in, which means we gotta move now. Let's get on the helicopter and make a run for it. Alright. Looks like we're in the clear. Nice job, mission complete. And that concludes our E3 2015 presentation. Hope you all enjoyed it. Look forward to more updates as we approach release on September 1st. Thanks for listening.